Hey, welcome. There is so much ancient information and clearing, and ancient is very much the theme of this time going into the time of this autumnal equinox, as you call it, or the autumn season, the time of the autumn full moon. And breathe. So there is much that's coming up to be clarified, quantified, demystified, and released, or transmuted and transformed. For you see, everything has purpose. Everything is connected. And this is so important for each and every one of us to remember in the days and times and weeks ahead. So this evening, we invite you to join us in the time of the ancients. And if you so choose to join us in our quantum field, I would invite you to say after me, Source of ancient wisdom, be present now. Taking a deep breath in and out. So this evening, we invite you to join us on a journey. So whether you know, see, feel, or simply trust that you are in the place of the origin of humanity and consciousness of this fourth wave of humanity on the earth. For you see, this evening in this gathering, we will bring in the story keepers, but also the ancients of Lemuria, the ancients of the first iteration of Atlantis, the ancients of the second iteration of Atlantis, as well as the ancients of this current golden age of man. And breathe. For you see, the time is coming when the awakening of the fifth golden age of man on this planet shall begin its process of emergence. And breathe. So I would like you to know, see, feel, or simply trust that as you move into a gathering of beings gathered together in a circle in an ancient forest in the heart of Africa, and the gathering is together in the evening, gathered around a fire with the most beautiful, golden, immense full moon in the sky. Stars so brilliant, it feels as if you could touch them. The smell of ancient wood smoke filling the air. And as you are invited into the circle with the ancients and the elders of the past. For you see, in this circle, you are an ancient or an elder of this fourth golden age of man, an equal partner, welcome for the records and stories and information that you bring not just in your mind, but within your DNA and within your Akashic record. And breathe. So as all of the elders and ancients and wise ones gather in this mystic circle, just as they did at the dawning of this fourth golden age of man, when their voices were more resonant, breathing in and breathing out. And now, as you make yourself comfortable within the circle and the time of communion has begun, as a bowl, a handmade bowl of the finest African hardwood that fits in the palm of your hand is passed from one member to the next, each one taking some of the ancient seeds within the bowl and placing them under their tongue and passing the bowl to the next member in the circle. For this ancient and wise and shared communion, in that you are taking the seeds of wisdom and knowledge and grace, placing them beneath your tongue as they have emanated from the past of wisdom and knowledge and grace. And as each member around the circle shares in this communion, as you breathe in and breathe out, I want you to notice how your body is starting to resonate with the frequency of the other ancient. Breathing in and breathing out. And now, one of the elders carries forth a tusk from a member of a race you might call an elephant or a mammoth. So to be clear, the animal was not killed for this tusk. It was removed from the skeletal remains of one of the ancient record keepers. For you see, the whales and the elephants, the most ancient of mammals in the ocean and on the land, the record keepers of Earth's fourth golden age of man. So as the ancients pass the tusk from person to person around the circle, when it comes to you, I would like you to hold the tusk between the palms of your hands and simply allow it to speak to you as you breathe in and breathe out. And as you do, one of the ancient elders from Atlantis, the second iteration, begins reading in a language that is foreign to your modern ears, but recognizable to your sacred heart, as they recite the words of the coming of age. Egana, Egana wanda kanavesene, Eshavachane amokanavesene, Iagana amoya nene avo, Amakane hamane, Iagane amoye ayaka ashene. Says the ancient translation that in this time there are seasons and cycles. And just as our DNA evolves over and over and over throughout tens of thousands and thousands of years in the human race, in our ancestors, as it gathers wisdom and knowledge and understanding, it must either evolve, exponential expansion, or become extinct. So as you hold the tusk of the elephant brethren that has the stories of the ancients and the elders of the first iteration of Atlantis, now bring forth the wisdom of the end of cycle or the transformative cycle, when the great waves clarified and cleared and challenged what was. Iakanea aya, Iaganohamiandeaya, Okaya Ndeamu Eaya, Wakan Deda Oyam Akaya da Ohia, Akotehia Gaboshe, Koshave Eyan Emaka, Imaka Dohaye, Doseme Avokia, Akiandonia, Akiadonia Bachania. And the ancients speak of the tapestry of all that is. This remembrance that everything is connected, for we came from the energy of the one in which all is connected, and then we come into this human form, and with this belief that we are somehow now separate and apart, that we are no longer connected to one another, to source, and even to ourselves. And breathe. So it's this time of remembrance, interconnectedness of all that is, as the seed of grace begins to once again germinate. Breathing in and breathing out. And now, as members outside the circle of elders, take the elephant tusk from your hands as you allow yourself to take a few deep, clarifying breaths, breathing in and breathing out. And now, as you join hands around the circle, as the energy of every wave of humanity is connected from first moment to last, as the elders of Lemuria, Atlantis the first, Atlantis the second, the fourth golden age of man from beginning to end. As you breathe in the energy that circulates around the fire, energizing, for you see there is ancient wisdom that lives deep within yourselves, within your body, within the very root chakra, within the very DNA that flows through your body. So in your language, the molecules that form DNA are much like microchips containing information, understanding, wisdom, grace, healing, transformation. But they too have forgotten that they are all connected. They all have purpose, and together within your body, within their connections to every other vibration in the universe. Breathing in and breathing out. So as you release hands from the circle, and as you do, the DNA molecules within your body begin to remember the tapestry of interconnectedness as they begin sparking and resonating, cell to cell to cell, breathing in and breathing out. And now there are two who wish to assist with this awakening. So Archangel Metatron, Archangel Michael have joined our circle as Ancient Wise One to bless us on this incredible journey of this time of transformation of all of humanity's purpose. For again, in these difficult and awakening times, many see themselves separate from other groups, segmented and segregated in many ways that make no sense except to our belief that we are separate and alone or different. So as we breathe in and breathe out, as Archangel Michael stands before you as you are seated on a stone within the circle and the gathering of the ancients, as Archangel Metatron stands behind you, as Archangel Michael lights in a bowl full of what you might call incense, but it is truly an herb, if you will, of purification and protection. Breathing in and breathing out. So as Michael begins the process of anointing and blessing each of the members within the circle, as the fragrant smoke swirls about and sealing your aura in a protective field, clearing, releasing, transforming all of the molecules in your auric field, in your energy field, to create an amazing energy of attraction and equal protection as we attract synchronicities and perfections and grace and healing and joyous time. And at the same time, having a vibration that essentially makes us, in your words, invisible to energies and situations that vibrate at a lower frequency. For you see, in the realms of light, when we look at others, we don't see your body in the way you see your body. We see your energy field. We see the light, we see the resonance, we see the wonder. And breathe. And now, as Archangel Metatron stands behind you, placing their hands on your shoulders, as your feet instantly feel grounded to the earth, as Metatron begins a process of transformation, of harmonization, and releasing. For you see, anything that does not vibrate at the frequency of compassion and grace or wisdom, it's time within your body, within your story, within your DNA is coming to an end. And breathe. So we will be in silence for 2 minutes as Archangel Metatron telepathically communicates with you as he goes through this harmonization process in your mental, emotional, physical, spiritual body, and receive any messages that are important for you at this time. As you breathe in and breathe out, and we shall return. And now, as Michael and Metatron leave the circle of ancients, as you breathe in and breathe out, as the most elder among you comes forth with a bowl, if you will, so the most ancient hardwood from Africa filled with water from the spring of the most ancient comes forth and begins a process of ritual washing and anointing. For you see, this is very much an important ritual of the ancient to perform this ritual washing and anointing as water from the ancient spring is sprinkled lightly upon the crown chakra, as something akin to a modern cotton ball is used to ritually wash the ajna center, the third eye, a blessing of clarity and focus, as you are invited to use your hands as a cup to take sacred water and wash your face and throat and heart, solar plexus, cleansing the hand, anointing the knees where the ancient stories reside, and finally the tops of the feet. And I want you to notice how your body feels in this ritual anointing that has not occurred on this planet for 500 million years. Breathing in and breathing out. And as the sacred anointing is complete, as this gathering of the ancients that will be talked about in the next gathering of the ancients in the far distant future, as the sacred water is used to extinguish the sacred flame at the center, as it is time now to leave the sacred circle, traveling back into your body, breathing in and breathing out. As we say together, Source of the ancients, I release you. Coming fully back into your body, wiggling your toes and your fingers, feeling perfectly refreshed, perfectly prepared, perfectly at peace. And so it is.